Alright, our first animation of Jonesy. We are going to make him do just a simple jump. I'm going to have him jump up in the air and land back down. So, as I do this, I'm going to try and show you some basic things about animation and moving a rig around. What we have here is a rig which has been set up. He has been modeled, and bones, a skeleton, full set of bones have been added to him with joints in between the bones. And as we move those around, rotate them, we can make him do what we want, and we're going to make him do a jump today. So the first thing, when you bring in Jonesy, the menus are all kind of messed up. So get the menus how you want. When you get them how you want, save it as. So go to File and save it as Jonesy Start. And once you get it saved that way, when you open it up the next time, your menus will be the way you want them. So the first thing I like to do, there's a lot of clutter in here, and we're going to get rid of a little of that clutter because a lot of it are these cameras and the zones that they are using. So we can get rid of those cameras and all those lines that go with them. So over here, if you still have the outliner sheet, it might be on your left side, but wherever it is, if I find the 3 lamps that are being used, I can just click the eyeball and get rid of them. They're still there, the lamps are still there, they're just not showing up. So that makes it a little bit easier to see what I'm working with. And everything else, just about everything else we're going to use. So there's a few other things, but now, okay, we're going to do the jump. So what we need to do, and I'll show you a few different views and things. I don't use them too much on these computers because they're kind of small, the monitors, but if we had bigger monitors or more monitors, we could use these views a lot easier. So if I go to right down here on this bar, I have to click this plus button right down here to get some of my options next to object mode, which I shouldn't be in object mode, but as soon as I click on one of the bones, it gives me pose mode. So if I click on one of the bones, I've got pose mode, and I can go to pose, view, and right up here, toggle quad view or Control Alt Q. So I'll use that quite a bit here and there. Just to show you the different views. So this shows me 4 different views. I can zoom in individually on each of them. I can't rotate around because it shows me all the views already. So that's kind of, you're used to rotating around. In this view you can't. So if I click on something, now this view is really good for rotating. For example, the first thing I might want to do is get the arms down. Ooh, the arms are already down. Looks like, I think he starts with his arms up a little further. So if I click on the arm and click R to rotate, I can rotate the arm all the way around wherever I want it. So I believe it starts more out like this. I think I cheated. So this is where they're starting. So in the jumping position, he's pretty good standing straight up. However, the arms need to come down. So if I right click on, and I can zoom in on this, hold down shift and click drag, or middle mouse click, I can put it where I want. So I click on the arm, do R to rotate, and then just move my mouse, and I'm going to bring his arms down closer to his sides and not right next to his side. And notice the hand doesn't move positions with the arm, and that's okay. We'll just have to move that separate. And so if I rotate, I can rotate the hand as well. Now this view is great because I know that I'm not moving it back and forth. Sometimes in a different view, you tend to move it back and forth without noticing until you get rotate the view around. But right here in this view, it's the side view, and I can still see the arm right down to the side. So I'm going to rotate the hand down. Now, if I've done one side of the body, I can flip the rotation, or I can do that same thing on the other side of the x-axis. Now I've rotated the hand and the arm, so I'm going to hold down shift and click the arm. And one thing about the hand, let me zoom in on it real quick. It's got the bones inside the hand, but it's got this outline of the hand, and that's the best thing to use for the hand. You can move the individual fingers and rotate them around, but to do the whole hand, just grab the outline of it, and you can see it better over here. Okay. So if I grab the outline, hold down shift and grab the arm, now I can copy, and that's in here, pose, and copy pose, but I like to use the shortcuts Control C, Control V, or Shift Control V, and we can flip that position to the other side. So if I do a Control C on my keyboard, and then I need to select both of them on the other side, the hand and the arm, and if I do a Control Shift V, it puts them in the same position, just on the opposite side. So that's really nice for a person because the arms and legs are all the same. So I've got the arms down to the side, so he's ready to crouch down and start his jump. Get a little anticipation with the crouch down, and then jump up. So one thing I can do with this rig, which is nice, I can find a spot where it moves multiple bones at one time. So if I click here, and that's, yeah, if I click here on the hips bone, it says right here kind of the name of the bones, he's named them. So the hip bone, if I pull down on that, and we can see it better over here in this view, he's crouching down, he's going up. So I can crouch him right down. Now before I do that, actually, I need to set my keyframes. So here we are going to use keyframes for the animation. So if I hit A to select all the bones, then I can set my first keyframe at frame 0. So if I hit I on the keyboard, I'm going to do a location rotation scale keyframe, and it turns orange, and there's my first keyframe. So that's the first position. Now, always, after you set a keyframe, you need to move the frame position to the next frame where you want the next keyframe. So, and before you do anything, and that's a common mistake, is if I keep it here and I rotate the arm around and the hand how I want it, I do all this stuff to it. Now, if I slide my frame, slide it to the right frame, it's going to get rid of that, what I just did. So what I need to do is slide it to the location first, and I'm going to come out to maybe about 15. Then I can rotate or make changes. I don't want to rotate right in this case, but make sure it is in the right spot, the frame, in the right frame where you want the next keyframe to be. And the next keyframe, I'm going to have him crouch down in anticipation for his jump. So I've crouched him down. That's pretty easy if you grab that hip bone. Then I'm going to come out, do a Control Alt Q so I can see him a little better. Okay, so he's crouching down. Ooh, another thing, just